Thanks very much, Senator. Senator Davitt.
Thank you, Chairman, and I'd like to thank you for obliging me here today at this committee. I suppose I'd have serious concern with the way the department are treating councillors and their representative bodies. I'm just curious, Chair, would you intend to have the department here to clarify some of the claims they had made in relation to meetings and consultations with the representative bodies? It just really is, you know, it's shocking really some of the stuff that has come up here today and the way they have dressed up and what they have said, the way they have talked to different representative bodies and councillors. And as we have heard here testimony today, there's been very little to nearly no consultation with them. It has really opened my eyes in relation to it, and I think fair play to you for hearing this matter today. There seems to be just a serious disconnect between the department and the realities with councillors' lives. Currently, councillors are paid less than cleaners or service attendants in the civil service, and they're grouped with the same section as department secretaries and CEOs, which garnish between 150 and 200,000 per annum in salaries and wages. So there's a serious disconnect in where they fit in along the system here. And I just to ask that the councillors themselves, who from Bobby there in Lama and Louis in the AILG and Shane and Scarty as well, you might just clarify with all your experience, where do you see this fitting in relation to turning away people from entering politics? I know you have hit on it there a number of times today, but where do you see these new regulations in that regard, you guys that have been on the track for such a long time, in relation to pay and expenses and secretarial supports and whatever else? Where would you see this new regulation fitting in, guys? I'd be just curious to know. Thank you.
Thanks, Aidan. I'm in local politics since 1985. Which is 32 years now. It's quite a long time, and you know it's becoming more and more restrictive. And when a bill like this comes before us, and the implications are very, very severe. At the moment, local authorities are hemorrhaging young councillors in this country. Young, good, vibrant councillors that we need. Local authorities need them. Communities need them. And now with with all these restrictions that are being put in by the department are actually complicit in this, because you know they're trying to put a bush in every gap. They're everywhere you turn, you know, it's more regulations. For an average, €16,000 a year is what we get before tax. Before tax, I mean, you won't feed a family, you won't feed yourself in it unless you have another job. So you know, I just can't understand it, and I can't understand why even it's been entertained here in the Oireachtas, because everyone inside in this room has probably come up to council level, and you have somebody inside in the department that knows absolutely nothing about local government or what's involved. I mean, we have to be adjudicated on every 5 years and go before the people. And if we're not up to scratch, and you might be up to scratch, I might be doing a good job, but you're still thrown out. And you know, I think that's the best barometer of all. And 98% of councillors are compliant, and we have to fill declaration forms after declaration forms every year. You know, and I think you know it's time that someone just inside in this big house here just cried stop and say a lot of these things, these are completely draconian measures to us. We can't afford it. We don't have the administrative backup. You have it yourselves here in the Oireachtas to fill out all these forms. And it's completely prohibitive for young councillors to come in. They don't need that. They're coming in here. They're coming into every council chamber in Ireland to represent their communities. So, you know, I think that we need some support here. And what you're doing is you're supporting yourself, because we're supporting our communities by telling them, look, there's a lot in this bill. It's just simply not going to work. Thank you, Chairman.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Chairman, I just want to agree with Bobby there, and I'm slightly bit longer in politics than he is. I'm in it 38 years.
It's a start in terms of the examination. We will send the transcript to answer your question, Senator Davitt. We will send the transcripts of this meeting to the Minister, to the department. We'll send your, I would say, first go at your submission, but that you possibly come back with more information again to the Minister. We'll send that, and we will, I suppose, each political party be encouraged to look at it and to put forward its own amendments. And I want to acknowledge, finally, the work that councillors do, and I think that it is underrated. I think it's not appreciated, and I think that the method that they've come at in the Oireachtas over successive governments has not been fair in the context of how you are remunerated, how your expenses are offset and so on. And it should be far more clear, far more transparent, and far more more appreciative of the work that you do, and that should be reflected in how councillors are paid. And I think the more democracy has developed at local and national level, the more onus there is on local government members to comply with all of this stuff, and we need to recognise the cost of that compliance and indeed the onerous task that it now is.